Yeah, you guys were talking about
Oh, you're bringing up BDE up in here?
Yeah, they were talking about
I
big
think
dick
we need
energy
it. I think this needs something.
on
we
their
need,
podcast.
I mean, John Paul is bringing some BDE.
He's got
Yeah,
BDE.
he is. I'm not going to lie. If I had known this in high school.
I'm trying to put forth the idea that women prefer small penises.
You're listening to Hypothetically with Will Newman.
Thank you so much, guys. We did it. We got some people out here. We got a jury and a half of people. So that's great. Thank you guys for coming. This is a weird thing to be doing because normally the Hypothetically podcast is me alone in a car driving down the street talking about comedy, and you can't do that. You can't translate that to this stage. They wouldn't let me bring my car in here. That's a joke. So glad I'm not doing stand-up right now. It'd be terrible. But so I was like, how do I do the Hypothetically podcast live and make it still be fun? And that is to bring my friends here today. And most of my friends are people in the audience. So thank you guys for being here, all you guys, Catherine, Mike, Sunny D, Peter. But let's get right to the guests, I say, because the Cotton Southie girls are in the house tonight, and they're some of my favorites. So my first two guests coming out right now, these beautiful women have their own podcast that I've been on several times I'm a big fan of. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Maureen Dayhill and Heather Foley from Cotton Southie. What's up, lady? Why don't you sit on either side of me, huh? One on each side. Oh, yeah, you have to share a mic. Shit. How about over here, then? Over here. On the end. Thank you guys so much for coming out. You guys have made me Southie famous lately, and I appreciate it very much.
Pleasure. It's our pleasure to be here, Will.
Until I bring out the next guest.
Oh, we get to, all right, you can use this until...
Things are running smoothly.
Pry it from my cold, dead hands.
This is the first live episode of a podcast I've ever done. So
Ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
Does it already feel, well, not of my own, of
Right.
Hypothetically. Does it already feel way less subdued? I mean, more subdued?
It feels like, because we've had a few live podcasts here at Laugh Boston, and we feel like the pressure is off of us, because
Yeah.
it's all on you, Will.
Oh, okay, good.
I mean, yeah, we don't really care.
The pressure was really to sell tickets, and I clearly killed at that, so.
I mean,
I think the battle's won. I think we can just
I say there's a
continue on.
solid baker's dozen.
We don't even try to charge for tickets, though, so at least you got people to pay.
Yeah, oh yeah. So,
Yeah.
oh, that's why.
See?
I asked them,
We give,
yeah.
give it away for free.
That's
and
what I'll do next
they come.
time. Well,
literally.
at Capo, we don't charge a cover charge. And guess what? We have
What?
one of the people from Capo here tonight.
He's a local legend.
A local legend, the guy who's probably as responsible as anyone for the success of Capo Comedy Night. He
I've
gets the
seen him
people
on
in the
West
door.
Broadway.
You've all seen him on Broadway. Ladies and gentlemen, from Capo, he's got a name like Madonna. Put it together for Philly, everybody. Philly coming out.
Woo, Philly!
Friend of mine, non-professional comedian. That's what it's all about here at Capo and here at Laugh Boston as well. I didn't smoke any weed. That's another thing. Normally, hypothetically, I'd be high as shit right now.
I'm hoping we're playing musical chairs.
It could happen.
Okay.
I'm just on Cumby's coffee, but that's the point.
That's going to spill, and it's going to ruin your phone. It's going to spill everywhere.
I'm just putting
Will's
that-
gone strawless.
This
and
is for
lidless.
Heather's OCD. I'm putting
Not
it
only
on the
strawless,
phone,
but
Heather.
Lidless.
Does that
Oh,
bother
that's
you?
crazy.
It's not my
Look at
phone,
that.
so it doesn't bother me.
We got, well, anyway, I was saying these ladies made me famous. Catherine wrote a very nice article about me.
Catherine's in the house.
Catherine in the house. It was
And our-
super sweet, despite what baby boomers thought that they were not
Right.
mentioned enough in it.
I know that. I thought that was
You were
crazy.
talking about that, but yeah, I was saying I went to get my laundry, and everyone's like, "Are you the comedian?"
That I read on Cotton Southie.
Yeah.
In
And,
residence
it
at
was
Cotton
great.
Southie.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
A
Everyone
resident
reads Cotton
comedian.
Southie. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it. I'm getting, like a 10% discount on my laundry right now.
Wow.
And
We don't get any
I
discounts
get
anywhere.
Nothing.
you guys
Nothing.
got to get with it.
Yikes. We got to write about ourselves.
I still use quarters for my laundry.
Cool. All right, guys, this is super exciting. We only have 2 hours left. This next guy, though, also not a comedian. This dude, all right, so this is what's special about Hypothetical. We're just having a group of friends hanging out tonight. This guy was a DJ at a gig I did on Cape Cod. It was outdoors. I don't want to brag. Things have been going great
Wow.
since the article and the award. All kinds of gigs, indoor and out. So
what part of the Cape?
one of the druggier parts. I can't
Yeah, I was
remember.
gonna say, like,
That's the
Hyannis?
Cape.
Yeah, like Hyannis, Falmouth.
Yarmouth.
One of those areas. But this dude was great. And after the show, he gave me some weed to smoke with him. And it was like one of those hour-long drives from the Cape that felt like 3 hours. You know?
Yep.
I know you smoke weed all the time, Maureen.
Well, he's offered me some gummies.
Yeah,
after
he was
that.
right
I
backstage.
said maybe later.
Offered
I was
everyone
afraid what would
gummies.
happen if I had it before I got on stage.
Right? Maybe
Yeah.
you did. Maybe you did. Anyway, this guy's one of my favorites. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for David DJ Destruct, everybody. DJ Destruct. Thank you, sir. Grab a seat.
What's going on?
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Thank you so much for being here. How many weed gummy bears have you eaten today?
Probably about 12.
12!
Just as many as the people in the audience. One for every
One for
member.
each of you.
Maureen, that's why you're here, baby. Maureen Dayhill with the jokes.
The one-liners.
12 weed gummy bears already today.
Yeah.
What was that, 10 milligrams a piece?
Probably closer to 20.
20, holy shit. So that's like
my.
240 milligrams of THC pumping through your veins.
Approximately.
Right
Well,
That's
that's
great.
We're not counting what
I
I
get high just
smoked, though. What I
touching you right now.
smoked.
now. You smoke too?
Yeah.
All right. So that's why DJ Destruct's here. I don't know why anyone would not want to be best
He's
friends
going to
with
set
him.
up a pop-up shop
Yeah.
out front.
Is
Yeah.
there going to be a
After.
pop-up
Negative,
shop?
negative.
Negative. It's gifts only. Gifts only. So, anyways, we'll get the last two guests out here. This first guy, when he does something good, he's a Mexican-American comic, but when he does something bad, he's a white male comic. Ladies and gentlemen, half white, half Mexican, 100% funny, John Paul Rivera, everybody. Come on out. Hook him up. All right.
Let's
what's up,
talk
man?
about the issues of the day. Let's get into it. Race, politics, religion.
How are you, John Paul?
I am against whatever you just said. I feel great. I feel great that we're here. I'm glad all these people came out to live podcasting. I have been telling everybody that podcasting is dead. I'm said it's over, but it turns out I was wrong. Thank you guys for coming out.
Keep filling time. That was great.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize you were sneaking booze while I was talking. Yeah, it's great to be back here at Laugh Boston among all these wonderful people. DJ Destruct,
Yeah.
Billy, Maureen, Helen, all us, we're
Helen.
close friends.
I love Helen. She's the
Those
best.
are how nicknames are born.
And before we,
I sort of melded your guys' names together.
we got Maureen
Sorry.
and Heather
right.
from Cotton South.
Oh, I said Helen, my bad.
Helen's a very popular name. It's an easy mistake.
Absolutely. That's,
Well, if there's
A
a
lot of
mistake
young
to
gals
make,
named Helen.
if there's a mistake to make, I'll take the easy way out, you know?
without further ado, our final guest, and we'll get down to the questions after that. But this lady, one of my favorite comedians in Boston, good friend of mine, and I've been wanting her on the podcast forever, and she's here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Trisha Auld. Let's give it up for Trisha Auld. Come on out, Trish.
Okay.
Fishing for attrition. Her,
Hello.
her
I was just going
podcast.
to say, is it weird that all the ladies are at one end? And all? Is this a dating show?
I did that on purpose, yeah.
Is
I know
that
your
what it is?
husband's
What's
here
going
tonight,
on?
Maureen, but
yes,
you're
he
going
is,
home.
that handsome firefighter right there.
Hey! Give it up.
I have a quick question about marriage.
Sure.
How
find
do
it.
you
Don't do it.
How do you find a person that likes you?
You're assuming he likes her.
I'm assuming he likes her.
He's putting
enough
up with
to come
me.
here.
He's putting up with
tonight.
me. He's putting up with me. I don't know. It just happened organically. I was.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
what they
lucky.
all fucking tell you. It just happened. We were in the grocery store, caught eyes.
Do you guys end up with no microphones somehow
Oh,
over
here.
there?
Well, let.
One between three. That's how you, when we put all the women on one side, thank you, John
Well, you
Paul.
know
I left
what-
the only thing I prepared for this backstage.
John Paul and I went to high school together. Weren't friends.
Really? Is that the truth?
Yeah, we really did go to high school together. Fun facts, huh?
Which high school did you go to?
Do you remember what it was? Waltham High. Was that what it was, right?
Oh.
Yeah, Waltham High School. Watch City, baby. Any Watch City fans in the house? All right, more of a Lexington crowd. I get it.
All right. First of all, we need one of your microphones. I'm sorry, ladies.
All
Someone's
right.
gonna
No,
have to
no,
give
no. Heather and I are going to share.
Heather.
We're a team.
You guys do share a
Alright,
lot.
you hold on to that, hold on.
Podcasts,
Scooted away from you.
husbands.
All right. So yeah, I didn't mean to put all the chicks on one side, but that's just how it worked out. Okay.
I think the guys were scared to sit
But
next to us.
I think we'll just start with some. I have some conversation starters, you know. And I think we'll start with Philly over here on the left because he's just a good guy, and I just I like his tattoos, and I think this is where we're gonna start.
I try to be handsome.
You know why I do this podcast alone? Because when I say weird, vaguely gay shit alone in the car, it just makes me laugh, And now I'm like vaguely aware that it's just not that funny. This podcast is weird. But anyway, what are some things about Boston that people who are moving here, it's move-in week, everyone's moving here this week. What are some things about Boston that people should know? And Philly, you've moved here from another place, right? Philadelphia?
Yeah, I came in from Philadelphia.
Hence the nickname, right?
Hence
Now
the
you know the
nickname
story.
Philly, over 12 years ago. I mean, what I noticed about Boston, for one, you can't get late night food.
Can't get late night food?
You can't get late night food. That's the only thing, late night food. I feel like the MBTA has a contract with the taxi cabs because I feel like the MBTA closes down, the taxi cabs still run, when I first came. So I was like, you know what? I want to give my money to no one.
So what do you do? Just sleep on the streets?
I found a spot. I find spots. I'm pretty good. But coming out from a different city to Boston is really nice. It really is. It's a really visually nice city. It's developing well. And the girls are a lot easier out here, I would have
Wow.
to say.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Easier?
Easier.
I was going to say, well, hold on. First of all, I know you don't mean easier personality-wise, so what do you mean?
Oh, no, easier to talk to. Because
Really?
I can actually understand them.
From Philly?
Yeah, the girl in Philly.
I guess Philly's rough.
What do
right?
they talk like in Philly, though?
Oh,
I've never been there.
the Philly girls, they have a lot of missing teeth, so they can't. So it's a lot of S words they can't say, because there's no touching.
So they're just like, fuck my thing.
Yeah, coming up here, smiling is a really big thing I see now.
That's
In
funny.
Boston?
I was going to
Yes.
say, because my
That's
friend...
kind
Shocked.
of surprising.
Yeah.
Shockers,
Well, that
you
used to be
actually
the
see
thing
teeth.
about Southie. Like, when I was a little kid, the joke was like, how many chicks from Southie does it take to get a full set of teeth? That was like the joke. Yeah, we've all heard it, okay? I'm not bringing up something no one's ever heard.
Dr.
But-
Siegel on Farragut Road was very upset.
Is he sponsoring?
I think he's dead. but
okay.
de-
Dr. Siegel? Oh, Siegel.
He's for the birds.
Oh, my God.
That's why I'm holding the microphone.
Now we know why there were so many toothless women in Southie when this guy was in activity. But anyway, people used to say that. But now Southie is known for beautiful women.
Yes.
The complete opposite. Everyone says it to me. They're like, oh, you live in Southie, there's just hot chicks everywhere. I'm like, yeah, that's what my mom always told me. He's like, when I was in the projects, we were all just super hot, sunbathing, doing yoga. It was a blast. Destruct, what do you think, man, people need to know when they move to Boston?
When they moved to Boston?
Yeah. You're up in
Man.
Lynn, right?
I'm not from Lynn. I live in Lynn.
Yeah.
I live in Lynn. I'm not the guy to ask about Boston. I'm from Wareham, the town just before the Cape. So
Yeah.
up here, it's a little too fast-paced for me. You know what I
I hear
mean?
ya.
Boston's crazy.
What about...
I'm a small town guy. You know
That's
what I
funny.
mean?
What's one of the things that bothers you? Like, because I get pissed off lately with the new people. I feel like I'm constantly either behind someone who's driving too slow, or someone's up my ass all the time lately. It just drives me crazy.
It's just up here, everybody just cuts you off. And where I'm from, which isn't even far away, they don't do it like
They
that.
just don't do it like. Because you might have to see them again later. That's the difference.
You're gonna see them, yeah.
Yeah, in the city, you're just kind of like, I'll fucking never see you again. Fuck off.
Exactly.
How about you, JP?
Oh, well, if you're here in Boston, you want like a little thing. I got a tip for you guys, a restaurant suggestion. Now, you're going to hear a lot of bad ones. This is sort of a little local place that I want to give you guys a little heads up on. A little place I like to call Cheers. I want you guys to check it out. It's a nice little local spot. There's actually 2 of them, if you can believe that. And so check that out. It's like kind of underground. Not a lot of people know about it. You get kind of like a cool underground vibe there. You got to say a password when you
like
get in the door. It's a lot of fun. So
What's the
check
password?
that out.
What's the password?
The password is I have $1. You get in there. It's a lot of fun.
That's a good one. How about you, Trish?
I probably could have funded a master's degree with the amount of parking tickets and violations
Yeah.
that I have gotten. That probably does have something to do with my disrespect for the law as well.
Yeah.
But
Well, they just doubled it too.
Yeah,
Like that was the
What, they
shadiest
doubled what?
parking tickets. Like it was just like one day they were like, don't forget, parking tickets are now like $100 minimum. Like I don't see how the punishment fits the crime. You know what I
my
mean? It's like-
34th birthday, I think you had reached out to me because or something. I posted something on Instagram, but I tried to pay a parking ticket off that I knew was probably like $1 million at this point, and I went to go do it, and it was already paid off, and I was like, what the fuck?
How'd that happen?
I realized that my car is still registered under my parents' address.
Oh.
And my dad
Isn't that
paid
convenient?
all of my parking tickets off.
That's a life hack right there.
Seriously. I was like, Dad, I'm struggling. You see the mail.
Have you ever got the boot?
I have not gotten the
Wow.
boot. No, my dad pays them
Twice.
off before I
there
got
you
that.
go. Will,
That's a
you
good
got
life
the
hack.
boot?
Put that online.
Twice.
I've got a bill. Have
Twice.
someone else pay it.
That before I came here today, I paid 2 tickets just to keep myself
What
off
is
that
going
boot
on?
list.
Why do you have so many parking tickets?
I don't know,
It's like
'cause
the
it's-
mother and me coming out now.
We gotta run into places to do comedy a lot. Like I just
Right.
got one on Newbury Street. I did a show and I had like
Cafeteria?
a $60 ticket when I came out.
Because you were double parked, or
No, I just parked on the
Have
street.
you heard of Uber?
Yeah.
That's just the good people
That would
of
be
Boston
cheaper.
trying to stop Will from doing comedy, and I
trying to
applaud them for
Yeah.
it. I applaud them. Whatever it takes to stop this monster going around,
It's true, man.
pushing his white male views on society.
I'm gonna bring the
We'll hit
N-word
him in
back.
the wallet. Hit him in the wallet.
With Will's luck, he would get in an Uber and the driver would be shit-faced. He'd be like, oh, awesome,
What happened?
sweet.
I'm terrible. Well, I get a lot of tickets. I save them all. I still have like all the orange. I probably have like 100 of
As
them.
souvenirs.
Yeah, one day I'm just gonna make like a suit out of them.
Do you
Ooh,
think
that'd
other
be
cities
cool.
have parking tickets?
Yeah, I know they do, but I just think it's fucked
Just
up.
Boston.
I just think it's fucked up
exclusive,
that I don't
exclusive to
mind
Boston.
raising them like with inflation, like things cost more, but like to just double them.
I
Like,
think it's to deter people from parking illegally.
I think we have a Cotton Southie debate happening right now.
I think we do.
because
I think she's a narc.
I do. Well, I do. I do think.
I am.
Will is double parked
I
outside of
adhere to
Cumbies
the
right
law.
Well,
there
there's
are
a
laws
thing in
for
South
reasons.
Boston that's like if you don't have resident sticker or
Screwed.
Massachusetts plates, people are like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Sometimes Peter and I just walk around the neighborhood. We drink wine and we 311 people who have out-of-state plates.
Just some
That's
casual
what our life has
snitchery.
become now.
I actually there's a guy in my neighborhood who works for the BTD and he wears a
Yes.
uniform and I won't make friends with him. I won't talk to him.
Why?
'Cause
You
it's
should.
like,
That's who you should know.
it's like he works for the SS. I feel like he's just I'm
He's
like,
the enemy.
I don't agree with what you do, sir. And another thing, Maureen, these street sweepers don't do shit, and
I
they
know,
tow
you-
my
you
car
gotta-
all the time because of street sweeping, and then they it's like it looks like someone out there and just sprayed like with a little
Yeah.
spray bottle,
But
a little bit of water.
We do need the streets cleaned.
This is my life. I gripe.
those
I gripe to-
potholes.
Yeah, we need these streets cleaned.
What's the
I
deal
eat
with
off
those
these
potholes?
streets, Will. All right? I'm the one eating off these streets. They gotta be clean.
Do you guys have any tips for Boston people before we move on? Before I get
I actually just wrote something about the things people need to know.
Oh, perfect.
And number one would be what to do with your fucking garbage. Because it's all over the streets when people move in the first weekend in September. They don't know how trash works. They don't put things in barrels. They leave it out on the street.
Yeah, it's free bed bug day, though.
When it's
free
not-
bed bug day.
How do you
Not
feel-
garbage day.
How do you feel
call
about
those my
people?
treasures.
Sometimes when I'm walking by a trash can, I got an orange peel or a banana, something. I'll throw it in their
Well,
trash
that's what
can.
the trash is for.
Other people's trash
Yes.
cans, though. I always feel like I'm like really taking my life in
Do
my
you
hands
think
when I
they'd
do
rather
that.
you throw it on the sidewalk?
No, I put it. I sometimes wait until I see like a Dunks or Cumbies, and I'd throw it out there. Yeah, and I've never been yelled
I mean,
at
are you
in
going
Southie.
into their backyard to do it? Because that's kind of uncomfortable.
But I saw someone put a bag of dog poop in a guy's, and someone came running out, and they were like, "Quit
Well,
throwing that!"
Maybe dog poop is not right, but
Nah.
I think I do that sometimes if no one's looking.
Well, how about this? We'll start again with you guys. How about some drinking advice for the new college kids in town? Because there's tons of college kids in town. Your
it's a
son just went
marathon,
off.
not a sprint.
Yeah.
You should know how much you can handle before you're peeing in the sidewalk.
Another big Southie thing: peeing in driveways and sidewalks and stuff.
I will say that is better than your pants.
Trisha,
If
weird-
the choices are your pants or the southeast sidewalk, I'm going sidewalk.
I'd rather you pee your pants than pee on my sidewalk.
That's fair. But
what's,
they are.
uh,
What if they're designer?
That's for new question out of nowhere. Where's the weirdest place you've ever peed drunk? Where's the weirdest one? Because I'll tell you mine.
bathroom?
Mine is on the train tracks in New York City in the subway train tracks. I just
What made you
figured
get on the train tracks to pee?
I was looking for a quiet,
I feel like
lonely
it's
place
easier.
to pee.
It's easier for the fellas to pee outside as it is for the ladies.
That is
Am I
definitely,
right, ladies?
That is definitely
Yes,
a
it is.
scientific
I always try to
truth.
start fires because I call it a fire hose.
You
So if
call
I
it
put
a
out the-
fire hose?
I call it the fire hose. You know,
Wow.
I start a fire, I put it out. The officer's like, "What's going on?" "I'm just doing my civil duty, sir."
Does that work?
Volunteer work.
Volunteer work, volunteer
By the way,
firefighter. That's
Philly
why I signed up.
Philly told me he thought I was 38 years old the other day. It was my favorite thing ever.
Why is that old?
It's like it's like 3 years away from how old I am, but I was like, I just kind of hurt. It was the kind of dagger I wasn't expecting. But
Did
I
you
enjoyed it.
ask
Got
for
you.
that?
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it. I like.
Did
it.
you say like, guess
I was
how
like,
old
how do you
I am?
think? Yeah, how old do you think
Oh,
I
that
am?
you're asking for it then.
And I thought it was gonna be like, I don't know, 20. I thought it was gonna be way younger.
and he's like, 42?
Yeah, and he
I
went
was
way
not trying
higher,
to
and I
dial
was
him
like,
up.
damn.
There's no wine and dine over here.
This is pretty great. Where's the
Sorry.
weirdest place you've ever pissed? DJ D-Struck? I
The
told you this
weirdest-
wasn't going to be a classy affair like Hot and Southie. I
It's
just-
I
the
have a bad-
weirdest
Well-
episode of The View ever.
It would definitely be in the DJ booth.
In the
for
DJ
sure.
booth?
Oh, 100%.
In a bottle or something?
In a bottle or something.
I
Yeah.
thought you were just going to walk off.
Why are you unsure? It would probably be, or was it?
It was a bottle or something. It could have been something else.
What's your story? You have a story?
It's bad.
DJ
but I'm going to
Booth.
tell it anyways.
We're amongst friends.
A third date's sink.
Whoa.
Oh,
High level.
my.
High level
Oh,
for a
my.
lady.
He lived in a very contemporary apartment, and I woke up in the middle of the night and could not find his fucking bathroom. It was like, seriously, like so hard to find it. And I was, again, the choices were pee your pants or pee in this gentleman's sink.
Wow.
Were you drinking Hennessy that night?
Vodka.
That's like-
Lots of vodka.
That's
Did
really
you
contemporary.
Did you tell him?
Oh, God, no. Instead, I told someone that he works with that's a mutual friend with me. So now every time she sees him at work, she's like,
Yeah.
Josh peed in your sink.
Wow. Anybody else?
I just peed in the hallway.
Does that work? You peed in, you're not in the
She just peed right now.
Maureen did a good joke, but none of you could hear it because her mic broke, and now it's awkward and weird.
It's now awkward and weird?
Oh,
Yeah, now it's awkward and
no,
weird. I'm just going to keep it
According
going.
to court records, I officially can't say the weirdest place I ever peed because that would be there's a gag order. But I did once get super drunk and pee all over a stranger's toilet in their house. When they called me out on it, I did the honorable thing and just walked out and never
Yeah.
saw them again.
That's one of my favorite stories about you. Weren't you like in the middle of nowhere when that happened?
I was in Rhode Island and I was sure I was gonna hook up. Positive I was gonna hook up. Turns out I was wrong. Turns out I was just blackout drunk. And they came. We were going watching Family Guy, and then I was at this person's house, and they came back, and they're like, you pissed all over the floor in the bathroom, and I was like, and I walked out.
And just left.
I just left. I just took off.
Then you spend the
and
night.
then I walked around Rhode Island until the buses started running again.
Wow.
Classic.
That's the life of a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, is peeing and just shaming out of people's apartments. One time in New York, back in my drinking days, I was like, I went home with a girl from a bar, and then I like had a moral moment where I was like, this is wrong. I'm leaving. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't even know you, right? And then I closed the door behind me, and then like got to the stairwell, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? There was like a woman who wanted to have sex with me back there. Like, I got to take this opportunity. And then I went back, and it was like one of those apartments buildings where like all the doors look the same. So I was just
boy.
walking to each door. And I was like, Jen. And then I like got louder and louder, but no one ever came. No one.
Also, my favorite way to pee is out windows. I've been doing that lately. Out the window.
Car window or house window?
House windows. I always like to party on the third floor to make it rain.
Oh,
no.
that is. I do.
I'm sorry. I got the fire hose. I said.
I do.
I make it rain on these hoes.
I don't think that's what they meant by raining on them hoes.
Well, this brings me to my next question, because
I can't
Oh,
wait.
wow, what a transition.
we're on the Hypothetically podcast, and so I thought I'd ask some hypothetical questions of you guys. And one of them was, and this was a discussion I was having with someone the other day, and we were trying to it was good. We were talking about if you had to have sex with an animated Disney character, which one would it be?
Goofy.
Weird you went animal right away when there are a lot of animated humans.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Oh.
Goofy. Well, Goofy. Yeah.
He is lovable.
He's a goofy, good guy with a good personality.
He's a great dad.
He'll never cheat on you because he's like not that attractive.
It says a lot. It says a lot about the person who they choose. Philly, I know you've thought about this.
Ooh, it's I've been contemplating it. It's got up in the air between a few.
I thought for sure it'd be Tarzan.
No. Tarzan was one of them, but I lived that
Tarzan's a real
dream.
person.
What?
Tarzan.
I'll
Heather
believe
doesn't
that.
need the mic. Nope. She's just screaming now.
I would go with Minnie.
Minnie Mouse?
Minnie Mouse.
Wow,
animals.
the first
Two
lady.
animals.
Old school.
There's
Jeez.
bestiality
classy,
going
you
on
know?
over
That's
here.
like
What is-
someone's
Start at the
thing.
top, work your way down.
Well, I was gonna
you
say
know?
Ariel. That's like half bestiality.
Yeah, but I mean,
Fish.
Feet eventually.
That's feet eventually.
Yeah.
And she can't talk when she's got the feet, right?
oh,
I think somebody did steal.
I
her
don't know. I
voice.
was just going for comedy joke here on the stage at Laugh Boston. I thought it would be a fun thing to do. I thought this whole thing would be a fun thing to do. So if you don't want to, well, who about you, JP?
I'm going straight to Nala from The Lion King. There's that scene where she makes those obvious fuck me in the lion pussy eyes
There we go.
at Simba. And let's just say I saw that when I was developing boy, and I never forgot it. So it's going to be Nala from The Lion King. I also want to point out that these cars just have swastikas drawn on them. And I think we need to be called out.
Yeah, come on, man. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
Well, that's no one. Well, that's pretty good. Did you hear that Real Sex was canceled on HBO?
Yeah, sad.
Favorite episode?
That is a bummer.
That show was my shit back in the day.
Yeah, right? What was your favorite episode? Everyone's got their favorite
They were
episode.
all stupid as fuck.
I remember a lot of nudism, there's a lot of softcore porn on HBO. Most of it not that great. Okay, and most of it not that great. But the Real Sex was like more nudity, but less good-looking nude people was always the...
Heather and I have a favorite episode.
What is that?
It's the pony play. Do you guys?
Big pony play.
Yes.
We're on the pony play circuit.
Well, that was like the
I'm not,
woman...
no.
There's like a lady who teaches that, right? Isn't that, if I remember?
For pony play.
What's happening?
Hold on.
Even the microphone is like, I
For
want
pony
nothing
play,
to
it's
do
like
with
you
this
have little like
conversation.
fake hooves.
You bite a bridle.
You
Yeah,
ride
yeah.
a bridle, and somebody might whip you as you prance around like a
Yeah.
horse.
I mean, I know it's like the hack thing
Damn.
to say, but like
You
what?
know the most erotic thing of all time.
I have the most awkward boner right now.
I just
If
always,
you're into that kind of thing.
I mean, I know this is like the hack thing to say about fetishes, but it was like
Of course you know the hack thing to say.
Mike Bain. But I think it's like, how do you figure that out, right? Like one day you're just having regular boring sex, and you're like, oh, if only I had a saddle on right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
You maybe got really turned on watching The Godfather.
The the horse in bed.
maybe.
There you go. Heather is good with zingers. She gets
She
like
is.
quick
She's good with the
zing-zongs.
one-liners.
And I'm loud.
And you're
Very.
You guys both grew up in Southie, right?
Yes,
What's
we
the
did.
scariest, like, weird thing you ever saw there growing up? Like, and I don't mean, like, scary, like, crime. I just mean, like, because there's some, like, ghost stories, urban legend type stuff in Southie. Like, the Stomper, Southie Stomper.
Oh, the Southie
You know,
Maureen
Stomper.
used to think a poor person who just had a discolored patch of hair in their head was a Satan worshiper.
Yes, there was a satanic bag boy at Flanagan's supermarket.
Of course.
I was convinced that had
This
black
poor
mass,
kid, he just had a white splotch of hair.
like a birthmark, but I just knew in my head he was a devil worshiper.
'Cause
and
of
he
the
had
hair?
black, yes. He was the satanic bag boy.
That's the funniest.
That was the rumor anyway. He was a little bit older than me, so maybe if I was like 10 or 11, he might have been like 14, 15.
Poor kid.
Probably wore black. He had an edge to him. I'm like, he's definitely,
He's definitely one
worshiping
of those
the
Twitter
devil.
handles that harass you now.
Oh, definitely.
Asian guy, right?
No, he wasn't an Asian guy. He was not an Asian guy.
Wow. Well, how about you, Trish? You ever seen anything scary? How's that for a podcast question? What's your favorite color, Trish?
Have I ever seen anything scary?
Yeah.
Yeah, every single relationship I've ever been in.
Hey, am I right, ladies?
In hindsight, mistakes.
Actually, that kind of leads me to my next question, though.
Oh, perfect.
I saw
Knew it would.
a public marriage proposal this weekend, and it was kind of like they wanted that, like they did it.
I think if you propose in public, you should also have to announce your divorce in public.
Yeah,
It's only fair. If you're putting it out there with like a flash mob, your flash mob has to also come
Yeah, I was
back to
gonna say,
announce
like,
your
what's
divorce.
the worst? Because that's really the worst. A flash mob or one that involves a ton of people.
I was gonna say ones at like sports games.
Oh,
like
yeah.
on the
Well,
what
the
are they,
Fenway
Jumbotron?
one, it's
I don't
like, how does the
those.
chick not figure out? It's like, hey, babe, come here. I want you to stand right in front of the Budweiser sign with me. At that place where people always get engaged at every Fenway game. Ignore those other two people getting engaged 4 feet away from us right now.
I've seen one in public that like the guy clearly wanted it in public and the woman was clearly like, do you fucking know me? Like,
So she said no.
no, she said yes. But
That's probably-
you could just see all over her. She was like, I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm comfortable in
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Like two people need to want that type of
Yeah.
attention, right?
I'm not with anybody anymore right now because my ex didn't appreciate me doing it during John McCain's funeral. She was like, I was like, it's a moment in history.
John Paul's a favorite of all the listeners, and this is why. Bringing that solid gold.
I have to admit, I actually did propose to a lady.
You proposed?
Yes. Kind of.
How?
It was in front of her parents. I proposed with a Nuva ring because I knew she wasn't on birth control.
Keep going.
Did her dad?
What happened?
Her dad was happy. Her mom was upset because she didn't understand what was going on. I told her mom that, sometimes we do have a punch card and the bills are adding up.
I don't get it.
He means his seed is gonna.
Oh, I get it. Thanks, Trish.
Sowing the seeds of
Well,
love.
we'll talk about how sex
Yeah.
works after.
Wait. This is how I have 12 kids. I have no kids. Anyway, so did they take it well or what? And she said no?
She did say no.
Yeah.
Shocking.
She wasn't
Fuck
down for the-
that bitch.
What are you doing after that?
Oh, I did.
She was like, your punch
Good.
card's actually over.
What do you
my
do? Like
friend."
just walk out? Like, okay, like after him peeing on the thing, you're just like, I'm out.
No, but I put the Nuva ring back in the fridge and left.
Holy shit. Well,
He doesn't know a lot about Nuva rings, it sounds.
you can't
don't
take
think
them
it goes
out,
in the
right?
The men
Fridge.
don't typically like rip them out,
I've never
put
seen
them in the
that.
fridge.
You can't take a newer ring out, right?
Maybe like once you open it, you have to put it in the fridge.
Is that how it works?
I thought it was the freezer.
I didn't
I
know
feel
a
like
fridge
some of
was
my-
ever involved. I
somebody
thought
was
it was-
Like ketchup?
Somebody with a
There's
medical
the fridge
degree
is
probably has to
involved?
insert it,
Yeah.
I would think.
Okay, do you guys think vaping's gonna last or what? Is this trend gonna stick around? Let's talk about it. Vaping.
Oh,
How do you feel about it, Maureen?
well, I have 2 teenage boys. How do you think I feel
I was
about
gonna say.
vaping? I'm like the vape police at my house.
Are they ripping jewels all day?
I think they're ripping jewels all day.
Yeah, good for them.
This guy's a big vapist.
Are you?
Do you blow thick clouds?
Convicted vapist, John Paul.
Vape
Rivera.
Nation. I love it. I actually haven't done it in a while, but it got me off cigarettes.
Oh, you quit?
Yeah, I haven't
okay.
done vaping in a while. I want to get back into it though, because I really love blowing sweet smoke out of my lungs into the lungs of strangers, and then being like, "What's the big deal?"
I do hate it. I used to smoke cigarettes. I quit smoking cigarettes, and now I'm that person who hates both. Like, I just hate any... I'm like, oh, how can people blow this shit in my face, even though I did it for 20 years?
Well, now I feel like
I'll just
people
keep being the least funny guy on my own podcast.
I feel like it's rare to see somebody smoking in public now. Do you find that?
It's very rare. Not in,
You don't
not
really
in
see
front
them
of
that-
Stop and Shop, but everywhere else. It's
Yes,
very
in front
rare.
of Stop and Shop, they
Yeah.
are always the workers.
It still comes in. It actually is a good appetite suppressant as you walk in, because
Yeah.
then you won't buy as much shit
It's
if you're a
true.
little bit unhungry. Anyway. I'm literally the brakes on this podcast. Like, every time it gets a little too fun, don't worry, guys. I'm here to slow things
He's like,
down.
I get another question for
That's
you.
why I do this alone in the car. And
Everyone's just pondering the concept of a word like unhungry, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone's just wondering what that would be.
Sometimes you're unhungry.
I mean, you guys can tell I especially need to ponder what unhungry would mean.
Start smoking cigarettes, bro.
that is good. That was the best thing about smoking cigarettes was the unhungriness. All day, every day.
The opposite of hungry.
The opposite of hungry. Well, do you care if I bring up where you live?
Your address?
Yeah, your address.
No, go ahead.
Well, I mean, you live in a cool neighborhood, or you live in whatever neighborhood you want. But John Paul.
I live in my van. I live in a van. I've done it for over a year. I'm one of these
Wait a
people.
minute. Were you on OK Cupid in the Globe?
No, that's another comic
friend of ours who was almost here, though.
who's much more handsome than me.
Did you read that?
I didn't read it. I saw it
But
on
I
Twitter.
did it before that guy. But
I thought it was a Criminal Minds recap.
I did it before that guy, but I'm not so open about it.
John Paul
unless I'm forced to be on a podcast.
Well, you do have stand-up jokes about it, right?
No.
Oh, shit.
I have none.
Well, I think it's very interesting because it's not just...
Will, you're doing a great job.
I know, I'm doing awesome. I didn't...
I was unhungry for these questions to start coming at me.
But John Paul has started a trend, not just in Boston, but in every city now. Comedians are living in their cars. And I knew especially...
Is that a trend or just like...
I don't think that.
I'd say it's more of a sign of the economic collapse of our country, I think is what it more
That
is.
is absolutely true.
Is it like the new tiny house trend?
It
it's
is.
Like
Van dwelling.
Is it a souped-up van?
I mean, I have soup in it sometimes, so I could say you could say that's. Sometimes I spill the soup, so it's kind of souped up. You could say.
Is there a mattress? Is there a rug?
Yeah, there is a rug and there's a mattress.
That's what I'm saying. It's pretty nice. And I think Will's car is pretty nice, too. And there's another guy.
Not as nice as mine.
Mass is doing it. And I know a lot of comics in New York are doing it. It's like becoming a trend on a lot of
Really?
things. And I knew you would have thoughts on it. Because
I do have thoughts
as a
on
mom,
it.
how would you feel if one of your kids was out there living in a van?
Oh, boy. As long as they're happy. Are you happy?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I thought you were going to say yes. Well, then I would say, come live with me.
Oh, I knew
My
more.
daughter is moving out, so we have a room if you would like to come live with
She got a
us. Would that
parking
be
spot?
okay, Peter?
Can I have her spot?
Yeah, this is a good time for you guys to talk that out. Do you have two
Just like when
bedrooms
I
or-
asked John Paul if I could talk about like his weird living situation on the podcast.
You might think it's rough living in a van, but it's better than living with Will's current roommate.
Oh. Uh-oh, is he here?
What kind of van is it?
It's an Econoline E150.
Oh, a big van.
Does it have a
yeah.
Does it have a captain's chair, like a conversion fan? Captain's chair?
Yes, it's that one.
You have a girlfriend though too. Like I mean, you're in a relationship. I'm saying like it's not hurting his social life, right?
No,
His comedy
no.
things or
It's
anything
part
like
of the appeal, the whole
I'm
package.
despite what I look, I'm an overachiever. That's what I am.
Oh.
You mean to tell me I have
How's it
two
feel to bomb on
jobs
this
and John Paul lives in a van and I can't find someone in this world? You're shitting me.
There is no God.
That's correct.
You can find someone, Trish. Trish is always like, I'm so single. I can't stand being single.
True.
Hitler had a girlfriend.
There was a drunk guy on cocaine at
There's hope
Capo
for all of
Monday who
us.
wanted to hook up with you so bad.
I know.
A
but,
winner like that.
You know, I want the love that you have with your husband.
Oh.
Whoa.
That's very rare. Very rare.
What's like some of the worst Tinder dates you've been on? Like, cause I know we've both been on a lot of Tinder dates. What's one of the worst?
Yeah, I mean, I went
fellas
on
you've
one
met?
the other day. He cooked me dinner, and as he was cooking me dinner, he was like, "Hey, I forgot one thing," and I was like, "Probably no big deal." And he was like, "Alcohol," and I was like, "So, you can keep the chicken parm. I'm gonna head out." You forgot the That's like my number one
You should be like
ingredient in a meal.
Heather's always prepared.
I always have 2 nips in my bag.
Nice.
Always.
Yeah, like I need to have a
Emergency
bottle of wine
purposes.
before dinner.
Right.
I don't always need to use them. I just feel better they're there.
Yeah, I understand that. There's
Safety
a guy.
blanket.
There's a guy who goes.
Much like the gun in my purse.
There's a guy who goes to Cumbies all the time. He's got a bit of a drinking
Is his
problem.
name Will? Oh, you
Oh,
said
yeah.
drinking.
Yes, but there's another guy with a bit of a drinking problem who goes there, and he still drinks a lot. And he one time he said the same exact thing in there. He goes, I don't know why we were talking about drinking it, but he goes, I always keep a couple nips in my car just in case. And I was like, cool. And then he goes, you want one? And I was like, no. I'm
I
all right."
wouldn't share.
Yeah. Oh, another thing happened too. I was hosing the flowers down that hot day the other day,
Yeah,
and an
that
old
was
lady.
nice of you.
an
Were
old
they
lady-
your flowers?
My landlady's.
Oh, okay, that's
and
nice.
I don't grow flowers. I don't know why I was so
Going around
offended by
watering
that
people's
question.
flowers.
But this old lady goes, "You're not gonna spray me with the hose, are you?"
Oh.
And I was like, "No."
That sounded like a dare.
I was gonna say, and I was like, "Do you want me to?" And she said, "Yeah, it's a hot day." So then I gave her a little spray.
Oh no! Did she like it?
Did you make that motion with your hand when you did it?
Well, that's how I did. I was like, "Shh," you know what I mean? But then she was like, "Come on," you know what I mean? So I was like, "Shh," and I was like, if anyone drives by, I look like the worst grandson of all time. I'm like, "Get out of here! Your Christmas presents stink." You know. It was,
That was a form of foreplay for her. Well,
I think so. I was
That
down
could
with
be.
it.
She was on Real Sex, I think.
Is it-
For hose, asking strangers.
I get it,
spray
especially
them with
since
their
Catherine's
hoses.
article. I'm getting it from the ladies in Southeast.
Yeah.
I was at Stop and Shop, and another older lady was
Smoking
like,
cigarettes?
smoking butts, applying
her
for
break.
jobs, and she goes, "Do you know how you can tell if an avocado is ready or not?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "You feel it, and if it's soft at the top and bottom, then you buy it." And I was like,
Which was really weird because you were by the paper towels.
I was like, thanks. I was like, I actually kind of need to know more about avocados. So if you have, is this real info or sexy info? But it's weird. It's weird. I don't mind it though. Like I don't know. I don't mind. I've been sexually harassed a lot in my life, and I rarely get upset about it.
You like it.
Well, yeah, not most of the time.
I've sexually harassed Will before.
Yeah,
I'd like to go on record saying
I
that.
think I'm gonna start
It was one of the
sexually
times I got
harassing
upset
them.
about it.
I gave Will at least one Me
You
Too
did bring up
moment.
his emerging BDE on one of our
Emerging.
podcast episodes.
Yeah. You guys were talking about.
Oh, you're bringing up
dick.
BDE up in here?
Yeah, they were talking about.
I
big
think
dick
we need
energy
it. I think this needs something.
on
we
their
need,
podcast.
I mean, John Paul is bringing some BD.
He's
right?
got
Yeah, he
BDE.
is.
I'm not gonna lie. If I had known this in high school,
I'm trying to put forth the idea that women prefer small penises. That they're more comfortable, they're easier to carry around with you. There's so many advantages to having a very small penis. So let's get that idea out there, huh? Women prefer small penises. I can say that.
Oh yeah, it's my show. I was like, someone's gonna say something funny soon. I think about the small penis thing a lot. Usually every morning, getting out of the shower, and I don't know. It's like, first of all, the growing and showing thing is a huge factor. And I don't think a lot
This
of
wasn't in
women
the email?
bring it. Yeah, this was not in the email.
Nope.
But oh yeah, your podcast was great because these guys did a podcast about big dick energy, and then someone was like, someone else like Ratty or someone was like, Will's mentioned on the Big Dick Energy podcast. I was like,
He was very
sweet,
nervous.
right? I'm like, yeah, and then you're like, we're going to talk about what people have big dick energy or not. And then they named about 200 people in a row with big dick energy. And then they get to my name and then they're like, almost there, kind of. But it was like,
He's like
literally
this
they were like, the
close.
male guy, the
We
dude,
said
the
Marty
dog
Walsh.
catcher.
Mayor Marty Walsh definitely has
Mayor
big dick.
Marty.
Oh, totally.
Maureen talked about Marty
Absolutely.
Walsh's balls at length, and it made me so uncomfortable I wanted to crawl out of my skin.
I bet at length. He's getting old, that guy. Thank you, JP.
I hope he listened.
I doubt he does.
He's a busy guy.
I got a bone to pick with that guy and his
You
big
do?
bone. Well, it's fucking. I got to buy all these tickets. You know what I mean? I'm
Oh
saying-
boy, you'll
I'm
give
one
him
of those
an
guys who goes
earful.
right to the mayor.
You're gonna
One
give him-
issue voter.
Yeah.
One issue voter.
So annoyed with parking tickets. I get a lot of them. Here's the thing. I'm a comedian. I don't make a lot of money. As you can see, I'm not very famous.
these are mostly you guys.
Yeah, these are mostly your friends and family, and but yeah, they cost a lot. I just feel like it's too much. I would
Well,
gladly
stop
pay
parking
a
illegally.
$20 ticket. Yeah, but
And
what?
you got one for not letting people
Here's
cross in the
question.
crosswalk.
Here's
I
the
heard.
question.
Oh, you blocked the crosswalk,
me?
you
Yeah,
scumbag?
I thought you said you did.
No, I didn't get one of
Oh,
those
I thought you
tickets.
said during a sting you got one.
No, I saw the sting.
Oh, you saw this.
I
That's
saw the
nothing better
sting.
than a crosswalk sting.
And let me tell you, the Boston police. Wait, did you guys volunteer to walk
My
across?
dream job to just catch people speeding.
Speeding.
Yep.
Yeah,
But you only
Southeast,
go right
Southeast is very into speeding right now. And,
Anti-speeding.
I one time got this is a fun story about Day Boulevard. This guy was driving 10 miles per hour in a Mercedes in front of me looking for parking, and I was like, ugh. So I just
I got places to go.
Yeah, I just zoomed around him. It was like 1 in the morning. It was 1 in the morning. He was throwing out there, and then it was an off-duty Boston cop, right? But he was
Driving a Mercedes?
Yeah.
That detail.
And he
What?
was shit-faced, though, so he
Ballin'.
didn't do anything. And he was like, "You're driving too fast." And I was like, "I'm sorry." And then I was like, "Hey, you're drunk." And he was like, "Will?" And I was like, "Andrew." And we'd known each other.
What?
Yeah, we were the same age, and we grew up, like, knowing each other. So
Oh.
then it was just like,
I think I know who you're
we just
talking
did one of those,
about.
like, "See you later," and we both drove away. It was all weird.
That's that white privilege right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh.
it's true.
Shit. Imagine that was me.
We were both white. Yeah, it's true. The
Was he Asian?
He was a white guy and I was a we were both like, we were actually both getting a sunburn. It was like 2 a.m. and we were both, we're so
Need to
Irish.
step your melanin game up, son.
Do you know, as the only non-white person, because come on, John Paul's really white. What do you think about cops? They give you a hard time?
They have, but there's been some cool ones too. It depends on the individual, I'll say.
There you go. See,
I'm gonna leave it at that.
I see what's
'cause
so
there's some
hard about
cops
that, NFL. Just ask some questions. JP, how about you? They tell you
I'm about to
move
take
your
a
van?
knee on this goddamn stage. Throw all my endorsements away.
I was at a show
I
with
live
you.
in fear of the police because I live in a van. So
That is the big fear, right? The knock on the van window.
never happened to me, and it never will. I'm too crafty for them. I'm too crafty for
If this
them.
van's a rockin', don't come a knockin'.
Yeah, basically.
What's that? Did you know? Did the girl you are dating now know before, or do you have to break that to her at some point?
I told her immediately on the first date. No, I was like
You're
living in
like,
the van.
hey, after this left, let's go. Let's go. I'll show
I
you
was
my
like, let's-
kitchen.
I was like, this is the boudoir.
You know, I drool where you're sitting right now. I've slept at rest stops before doing comedy. It's very bad sleep.
Oh, no customers for a while? You had to take a nap?
Hey, all right. So, yeah, I give hand jobs. In rest, I give trucker hand jobs. The worst type, all right? But those guys always have a couple cash bills or some AA chips. You can trade those in. But we both have weird stories about sleeping at rest stops. Because one time,
Bill Cosby's son was murdered at a rest stop.
Bill Cosby's son?
Yep.
Oh, and Michael Jordan's dad also.
Don't sleep at rest stops.
Don't sleep at rest stops. Well, I one time woke up from being asleep and a guy was looking in the window, and you were making out with a chick though. This guy gets so much ass.
Yeah, I was making out with a girl
At a
once.
rest stop?
No, it was next to
Got moved.
Carson Beach in South Boston, and a guy came up to the window while I was turned away. Then he left, and then we drove away. It was in her car, and when I got out of the car, I found a small white rock that the guy had placed in the seat while I was making out with this woman. He was
Ew.
clearly
That's a serial
escalating.
killer.
Yeah. So keep an eye out there, folks.
Is that not one of the weirdest
The White
stories?
Rock Killer.
Yeah,
What's
like,
the
who do you-
white rock about, though? Come on, we gotta symbolize something.
Princess and the Pea situation?
Maybe it was his white privilege. They were like,
It had hilarious googly eyes on it.
isn't that scary though? That story has always freaked me the fuck out. Like I woke up from my rest stop and a guy was just looking in, and then when he saw me wake up, he was like, "Huh," and he just like walked away.
And he scooted away.
But part of me thought maybe he was like just making sure I wasn't dead or something like that.
We call that a lot lizard.
Really?
Yeah, watch out.
In Wareham? You say you're from a small town. That sounds
It's a
terrifying.
small town, yeah, watch out.
I once set up a weed deal with a guy, Mike.
It wasn't me.
Mike Kerrigan. I'll say it. Fuck it. He used to sell weed.
Is he on Facebook?
He's a comedian. Yeah, hit him up. Awesome views on gays. He's the most homophobic guy. Hates gay people. And one time I accidentally, he was like, "Where should we meet to do this weed deal?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "Oh, there's this like park and ride off the highway," and I didn't remember that it's like a huge gay
Bad
meetup
move.
spot.
Yeah, right.
So I sent him there. I was like 5 minutes late, and like gay guys just kept coming up to his car, like knocking on the window, being like, "Hi, what's going on?" Like, you're parked. Like if you park a certain way, I'm supposed to blow you.
Yeah, if you have a white rock on your seat.
Wait,
If you have a white rock on your seat.
It's like tapping your foot under a bathroom stall.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I've been doing that
See
for
that
years
white
since
rock,
that
yeah.
never works.
Fuck.
Speaking of my roommate that JP was talking about, I heard him and his girlfriend having an argument the other day, and it was over something very petty, but I thought it was kind of a nice millennial type problem. It was what position for two people to watch a laptop in bed together? What is the best position? And they were arguing over
The best position is everyone gets their own laptop and a set of headphones.
Whoa.
You don't share a laptop.
Well, I think, it's kind of like romantic. You're in the bed and you just put the laptop, light the fire.
Why doesn't he have a TV?
He lives in a van.
No, she doesn't. He does have a TV, but they were arguing about, she goes, how come you never come to my place? And he was like, because we just watch your laptop in bed and it sucks.
Buy her a goddamn TV.
Yeah. That sounds terrible.
All right, fun little question.
Chromecast, son.
I guess I'm the only person who cares at all. How many dates? This is just for my life. How many dates until doggy style is appropriate, do you think? First date?
Also not on the email.
Not on the email.
First.
Came up before, but
It's like a trust fall.
I'd say not first.
another friend of ours who is a comedian, a female comedian, was complaining that a guy wanted to do doggy style on the first date, and I was like, really? Is that a no? Is that
I would say maybe the second.
just a little too impersonal
Yeah,
for
right
date
away
one?
out of the gate, doggy style.
If you're fucking
Asshole,
on date one,
all out and shit.
Yeah.
why are you gonna stop at doggies? You know what? You can only fuck me while we look at each other.
Yeah.
Whoa! I'm a
That's actually
lady.
the last thing I want. Like, I barely know you. Fuck me from behind. Thank you.
Now, Philly, I know you work at, you work around young women. You must have a lot of doggy style. Style of the hound is a thing you must do.
The pound hound?
Yeah, the pound hound.
The pound hound
How do
coming
you bring?
to town.
What's your style with that?
I mean, I agree with it, first dates, yes, because, some
You're-
girls are not attracted to other ones, And plus, a lot of people, like to watch TV at the same time.
You could watch a laptop that way.
Watch the laptop. Foot of the bed.
Yeah.
That's the
That's it.
best way to
That's
watch
how we
a
watch
laptop.
laptops together. It's doggy style.
Share this feedback with your roommate. Maybe you.
I will.
You could have solved a.
That's
real
why. That's what we're
problem.
doing here right now.
Tell him we
just,
did a focus.
Just end it.
Just doggy style. That way, both of you can watch
Watch-
TV
Yes.
at the same time. You ever let him look out the windshield, JP?
I like to call it hoggy style. And be like, you're a pig. So they feel like, romantic and stuff, Hoggy style. Let's get that going. Small dicks and hoggy style. Try to get these into the lexicon. Do pigs fuck like that?
DJ Destruct. What do you think, man? Are you married, guy?
I'm married, yeah,
You
but
married?
ask me. What's the question?
How long you been married?
It'll be 8 years
Holy
in
shit!
a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Oh.
Mrs. Destruct, how long did you guys wait?
It was a little bit.
A little bit.
It was a little bit.
Romantic.
He's
Yeah.
a gentleman.
That
She
is-
wasn't like those DJ groupies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That first night asshole up and shit. You can't really respect that.
Good Lord, we earned that explicit.
I guess
That
I'm
we're
a
gonna
DJ
get.
groupie, and I had no idea.
I seen you at some gigs before. I seen you requesting some Drake or some shit.
Kiki.
Sure.
Yeah, but that's not asshole up. It's a masshole up.
Hold on, I want the silence for the podcast. Let's go.
All right, whatever. I can bomb too.
Yeah,
It's
we
not a big deal.
We're three of us are comedians. Do you know the worst time you ever bombed? That's a question I get constantly. What's the worst time you've ever bombed? But I really do have an answer. Nick's Comedy Stop. I can remember it exactly. Do you remember, Trish? Or-
I do, yeah. I was asked to do the Boston Comedy Festival when I was 2 years into comedy.
I remember this.
To do a roast.
Oh,
I had
shit.
never
Roast
written
battle.
a roast joke in my life, and my humor is very self-deprecating, so making fun of someone else is not within my wheelhouse. I'm sure if I had time to grow as a comic at that point in my career, maybe. So I was 2 minutes on stage. We were supposed to do a 10-minute set, and I had done all my jokes in 2 minutes, and I just stood there sweating while getting called a slut over and over again. I was like, this is fun.
I was in the audience for that actually, and it was
Was it
brutal.
Will?
It
Will.
was atrocious.
Will, were you calling her a slut?
No, I actually didn't I go after you, and I was like, because you actually, as bad as it wasn't as bad to, like, you took it well. Like, I thought, like, he
Well,
made
yeah,
fun of you, and you
right.
you didn't do that thing a lot of people do when they're getting roasted where they try and like fight back on the spot.
Yeah, that's annoying when people
It's
do that.
really
no, I
bad.
literally got roasted. I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Yeah, this guy.
I'm
this
not
guy
good
brought-
at this.
What was it? It was
You
a
start
lot-
crying.
That was rough. Mine was that I remember I just bombed so bad, and I remember I got heckled from like the darkness of the club, and I said something like, "Yeah, well, shut up." It was like I had nothing, and it was really bad. And every like comedian in Boston happened to just be there, and they all saw it, and it was like people were just like, "You stink," and that was last Tuesday. So it's pretty. I'm getting over it.
Do you guys get nervous at like new venues, or if it's you're performing with someone you haven't performed with before, or something?
I used to get nervous every single time it was a new venue for like a long time, but not so much anymore.
Have you ever bombed doing DJing, DJ Destruct? Is that possible?
Hell yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, what goes wrong with the DJing? Like,
I mean, sometimes it's just a crowd that is corny as fuck and they don't want to dance no matter what you play. And then the next night you could DJ for a crowd that just wants to shake their ass and no matter what. You guys want to hear the craziest thing I ever seen?
Yes.
DJing a wedding?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Actually, no.
I'll keep it brief.
No, please.
The
go
bride's vagina.
Yeah, you got
And
it.
I wasn't the only person who saw it. Grandma saw it. Mom
What happened?
saw
She
it.
fell or something?
Listen,
That
she
probably
was
wasn't the
already
first
hammered at
time.
the ceremony. She goes and changes her bridal dress into some short shit for the reception. You know what I mean? She's so fucked up. Her and her husband go to recreate the lift scene from, what is it, Dirty Dancing?
Dirty Dancing.
And they had me have the song ready and all that shit. And she wasn't wearing panties, and he lifted her up, and her legs spread, and that dress went up, and he spun her around. Everybody's around the dance floor. It was so crazy.
They got some Dirty Dancing.
It was extremely
It's
dirty.
as dirty as it gets.
Yeah.
I used to see. I was a DJ myself. I was a karaoke DJ, and
Nice.
and I saw a lot of that Dirty Dancing move just go bad.
People fall.
Yeah, well, people are fat in real life. They think, like, people think they're Patrick Swayze and that chick with the big nose, but in reality, they're just fat fucks out of shape. And
They
can't do
also
anything.
practiced in the water for months
Did they?
before they perfected
And
it.
she should have kept that big ass goofy nose. I mean, she ain't the same now.
I agree. I
No,
liked
she
it.
looks
So.
completely different.
I may be fat, but Patrick Swayze is dead. So take that. Take that. Now you're a real ghost, Swayze.
He ripped butts all the way to the end. I like that.
I really respected that.
I
That he was
respected
like,
that,
I
too.
have pancreatic cancer. I might as well just
Yeah.
go crazy.
I remember Diane Sawyer was like, "But Patrick, cigarettes cause cancer." He's like, "I'm going to die, Diane." It's like, it's a fucking fact, all right? That horse I just rode knows it.
I've been spending the last 3 days just focusing, trying to remember how to do that thing with a Diet Coke can on the subway platform. You guys are all right. Well,
that movie holds up though. That movie Ghost is a good
Ghost?
fucking movie.
I like.
Okay, well, one more time, killing
It
it.
is kind of weird to think Demi Moore makes out with Whoopi Goldberg at the end.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
a couple people who are still doing awesome.
Whoopi won the
G.I. Jane
Oscar.
Whoopi
She's
got
an
Oscar
EGOT?
for that. You know, she's very afraid to fly. Whoopi Goldberg has to be like almost
Ooh,
sedated.
little known
like a
Whoopi
Little
fact.
known fact about Whoopi Goldberg.
But when you have Whoopi money,
What kind of name is Whoopi? Like,
I don't
is that a
think-
nickname?
I think
I've always wanted that
She was
shit.
christened that name.
This is like one of those fucking. What was that thing?
what kind of name is Whoopi is a question that the whites really aren't allowed to ask. So good for you, DJ Destruct, for putting that out there.
As we wrap this podcast up, I wanted to thank everyone for coming first of all, but we gotta plug everyone's shit because first of all, their podcast is really, really, really good. I listen to the Cotton Southie podcast just in my own free time. I listen to it all the time. It makes me laugh my ass off when I'm running, and then I look like a goofball.
work out.
I know. I like to get it in.
You're
for 15
always
sentences.
running.
Well, my favorite is it feels like you guys make fun of me for talking about running
We
while I'm
do.
listening to it while I'm
Very
running.
meta.
At
It's
least
very
every
meta.
other episode we do make fun of Will.
Yeah, and I love it. And it's a great podcast. So please, if you're listening, check
Thank
it out.
you.
But
It's called Caught Up, a podcast from South Boston.
We only record one every 6 weeks, so how much are we really making fun of it?
Right.
you can count this as one if you want. Just put it. I'm sure your listeners would love which Disney character would you fuck? Trisha, what do you?
To that question, Prince Eric.
Prince Eric. Maureen,
He's the John Hamm of the Disney princes.
what do you think? Do you think he's funny, John Hamm? I'm so sick of seeing
I
that
think
dude
that he
in
is.
fucking comedies.
And
I'm
don't-
like, what, dude? How can
You
everyone
can't talk
else
about
eat?
John Hamm and not the
Hamaconda.
Hamaconda.
Hamaconda. But Yes.
call it.
If I was
the amount
famous,
of pictures of him in sweatpants on the internet, I mean, you just never
Yeah,
run out.
it's
amazing.
giant.
do you think he chubs up a little bit before he goes
No.
out?
I
He
think
knows the paparazzi are out there. He's like, honey,
He's
they're out there
blessed.
again.
He's
I gotta
blessed.
walk the dog.
But doesn't have big dick energy.
Yes, we decided he doesn't have big dick energy.
Tries too hard.
He
I know a
tries little too
comedian. I
hard.
won't say who it is, but before he goes on, he wears a suit all the time. And before he goes on stage, he like arouses himself a little
What?
bit. So there's like a bulge
That's
in
an
the suit.
episode of Real Sex.
when
Okay,
he's,
we all know about Louis C.K.
Oh, that's a good.
our special
Welcome back,
guest-
Louis.
Our special guest is Ruin. Yeah, he's another one like you when he was a genius.
Like what?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
No, when he was a genius, everyone was like Mexican American Louis C.K. And then when he jerked off, people were like, "What a gross white man he is."
Those are the only parallels.
Trisha, never been more single on
Yep.
Twitter, right?
No, it's Trisha Ald on Twitter. I did write a blog when I first started doing comedy called Never Been More Single, so that's still out there.
Yeah.
Much to the dismay of all of my exes and
You're
my
just
father.
owning that shit, huh? Your name in your book and all that. What
Hell
are you doing?
yeah.
Trisha's
Hashtag
social
branding, baby.
Trisha's
The brand is
social
strong.
media is kind of like wrapped up into the comedy and like
It's-
dudes got to know when they date you that they're gonna be kind of put on blast a little bit, right?
Yeah, I'm currently going through a situation like that.
Because like a lot of screenshots of like things guys are saying.
I do have respect for people that I genuinely like. So there are men who have dated me who I have not been on the internet at all.
Yeah.
But the second that turns, I'm like, oh shit, light this on fire. Here we go. So the
I know one
blog-
guy who like lost like 70 pounds after you like fucked with him like
Yeah,
that.
he still apologizes to me every day he sees me.
So you got him pretty good.
He ditched me on a wedding that he asked me to go to for his family. And I sent him a Venmo every single week with my dress, my hair, my nails, and my day off because I felt like I deserved to get paid that day, even though I'm salaried. I still just wanted to just be like, you owe me $450, bitch.
So
He
guy-
never paid it, so he's obviously
didn't-
poor.
He does have children, that guy, I know.
He has one child. Grow up. You owe me $450
But
still
anyway,
to this day.
he's still upset about it. You like a
I am too.
good Irish Catholic woman. You laid that guilt
Oh,
seed,
yeah.
and it has grown into a.
Let's
beanstalk.
get him out here.
He's suicidal, everybody.
Wait, I want to plug my show. Though,
Oh, please do. Yeah, please do.
I also run a comedy show first Thursday of every month at Club Cafe in Boston. If you've never been there, it's a gay bar. It was Improper Bostonians' best gay bar in Boston. Has such amazing live performance.
John
there.
Paul's van came in second place.
John,
That's pretty
John,
funny.
will you do my show tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
7 p.m.
I got to look at my schedule.
Wow.
Figured I would
soft
just, put your
No,
weight on
I'm a tour guide. I have tours tomorrow, so I
Oh,
can't.
okay.
So I would thank you for the offer. I would like to, but I can't.
Will's doing it
I
tomorrow.
will
If
be
anyone
there.
yeah, I'm a tour guide.
wants
historical
to
tour
see
guide.
him not bomb tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be there. Not podcasting. What about you, JP?
You can find me on social media at John Pal Rivera. I also have a podcast I'm on called Series Finale, where we three Boston comics discuss the final episode of a TV show that we've never even seen. So you can
Super
check that.
funny.
It's really funny.
It's very funny. I've listened to a bunch of episodes.
thank you, thank
It's
you.
with Jack Burke and Zach Brazow.
Yeah. So we watch the final episode of a show we've never seen. We talk about it, discuss it. It's a lot of fun.
DJ D-Struck, I've seen you DJ, and I know you're a fucking sick
Yeah.
professional, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
So how can people book you, man?
If you guys need a DJ for any event, a wedding, a birthday, a bar mitzvah, a quinceañera, a fucking funeral, I'll do whatever. Hit me on Facebook, DJ Destruct, Twitter, Destruction, and all that good shit. All that Instagram, Destruction.
All that
Yeah.
good shit.
Destruction.
There you go. Philly?
I'm just on social media on Instagram as Philly Rad. After this, I'm gonna start a White Rock Doggy Style group.
Well, you can find Philly every Monday down at Capo. Like you're as much a part of that show as any of the comedians are, man. And like I swear, this is dead serious. He's the reason why the show has been a success. He's when no one would come in, he was getting people off the street to do it. And for real, this guy is the shit. So thank you very much for coming on the show. All you guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. You're all the best. You're all my closest friends, and let's all do cocaine and have an orgy.
Let's go.
Let's
All right,
bang
thank
some
you guys
rails.
for coming. No one told you they love you today. I do. Peace out.
yeah, hang out for the next podcast or whatever.
Yeah, that was touchy. Irish Catholic, right?
Are you related to the Kennedys? Are you related to the Kennedys?
Am I related to the Kennedys? Do you think I'd be fucking working here if I was? I'd be dead. That went 0 to 100 way too fast. I'm sorry. Here they are. They're coming to get me. No, I'm not. Why would you say that? I look like them? Oh, thanks. I'll take that. I guess what?
You could be.
Born and raised Massachusetts. Yeah. Yeah, actually not the first. I've heard that before, usually from women, right before they break up with me. You look like a Kennedy, and that's a turn off. It's the big teeth. Do you have oil in your basement? Call Joe Kennedy, Joe Ferrari. They're rich, but they look fucked up, right? They are. When you say you have the elegance and class of a Kennedy, it feels good. But saying you look like a Kennedy, I'm like, oh, I look like 20 years of inbreeding. Thank you very much. Oh, Joe Kennedy for oil. Yeah. Ted Kennedy, that redheaded pumpkin guy, he was around. He was great. I love Ted, but he wasn't a handsome guy. I wouldn't say that. Okay, you guys love Ted Kennedy, and I lost you. Right. Well, we're gonna shit on Kennedys. That's funny. My dad did give me a piece of advice though. When we were smoking pot together, he did. He gets big on the advice. First of all, his first piece, which I should have listened to, was never shit on Ted Kennedy in Laconia, New Hampshire. Forgot that one. Yeah. Second one was, oh yeah, he goes, he's all interested in me dating. He wants to know, like, when I'm gonna get married and stuff and all that shit. I'm single right now, so I'm like, it's gonna be a while. And he goes, well, let me give you some advice, all right? If you're getting married, he goes, don't focus on looks. Focus on voice. Because looks don't last forever. But voices do last forever. And it's gonna be yelling at you a lot. Exact advice. It's good advice. You know, you can't, if you're gonna be listening to it forever. I was like, this is, and then I started thinking about it and it started fucking me up. Because right now, 2017, worst time in history to find a girl with a nice voice. It's never been harder. Because there's a new chick voice. Yeah. A couple of years old, right? You already know what I'm talking about? It's true, right? Because it's everywhere. For years, women all spoke the same. If they were talking about this show, hey babe, let's go to Pittman's Freight Room tonight. It'll be a good time. It's BYOB. They have a dog. It's super fun. Come on, we never do anything. Come on, babe. It's fun. Just chick voice, right? But now there's a new chick voice. You've all heard it. It's more like, hi. Let's go to Pittman's Freight Room and check out that comedy show. It'll be a really good time. I'm always like, who the fuck is squeezing you right now? Where did the squeeze voice come from? I think it starts in high school, because remember high school, whenever it'd be time for a girl to read out loud, it would always sound the same. I don't know how it worked out, but they'd pick any girl, and it would always be the same. They'd just be like, Melissa, could you read chapter 1 from Ethan Frome, please, out loud for the class? Always the same voice every time. The village lay under 2 feet of snow, with drifts at the windy corners. In a sky of iron, the points of the dipper hung like icicles, and Orion flashed his cold fires. Yeah, you're like, thanks, Melissa. No fucking idea what's going on right now. And then that same chick grows up, and now she's the maid of honor at a wedding, like once a month. Right? You gotta listen to that speech at every wedding. Congratulations to my sister Jen for finding her true match. I am so happy that Brian and Jen met at that Applebee's in Santa Monica. When I look at them, I see 2 beautiful people bonded by love, who will always be there with a hug and a beer at the end of a long day. You're like, what the fuck? Where's the emotion, right? It's always the same, it never changes. That same couple could die in a fiery car accident on their honeymoon, and she's giving the eulogy at the funeral. I'm shocked and saddened to be here today, burying my sister Jen and her husband Brian. I'm so sorry they crashed their car on their way to another Applebee's in Rancho Cucamonga. I literally hope they're in heaven right now, and I can't believe they're dead. But I guess that's just the way the candy cracker crumbles. Thank you guys very much. That's it for me. Thank you. I love this place. Thanks, guys. We got your headliner coming up. You ready for him? Make some noise. One of the best comedians to come out of Boston. NHL referee. You may have seen him on Comedy Central. He's here for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mark Riley, everybody!
Awesome, man.
Well done, everyone. Well done.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, dude.
That was an awesome set.
Thanks,
That was an awesome set.
I love this place. It's so fun.
I am actually from Southie. So, yeah, and I typed in Southie to Laconia, New Hampshire, and it came back as shit me. Like, no.